How does a successful marketing executive in London end up in the hands of human traffickers? How does the man you've loved for 3 years become the monster who sells you? Let me take you back to where it all began. Maya Richards had everything figured out. 28 years old, senior marketing director at Bennett & Associates, living in a beautiful flat in central London, engaged to Daniel Crawford, the man who had swept her off her feet 3 years ago at a charity gala. Daniel was perfect. Charming smile, worked in finance, always knew exactly what to say. He'd proposed 6 months ago on a rooftop restaurant overlooking the Thames, and Maya had cried happy tears, believing she'd found her forever. But love makes you blind. Trust makes you stupid. It was a Tuesday evening. Maya left work early, carrying a bottle of expensive champagne and Chinese takeaway, Daniel's favorite. She'd just closed a deal worth £2 million for her company. The promotion she'd been chasing for 2 years was finally hers. Regional director. She couldn't wait to celebrate with the man she was going to marry in 3 months. She unlocked their shared apartment with a bright smile, calling out, "Babe, I'm home early. You won't believe what happened today." Silence. Heavy, thick, wrong silence. Maya's smile faded slowly as she stepped into the living room. The champagne bottle slipped from her fingers, crashing against the hardwood floor, liquid and glass exploding everywhere. 4 people stood in her living room. 3 large men with cold expressions and tattoos crawling up their necks. And 1 woman, elegantly dressed in all black, sitting on Maya's cream-colored sofa like she owned it. But the real knife to her heart was Daniel. Her Daniel, standing behind them with his hands in his pockets, eyes fixed on the floor, jaw tight. "Daniel." Maya's voice came out small, confused, terrified. "What's happening? Who are these people?" The woman rose gracefully, a predator's smile spreading across her red lips. "Ms. Richards, finally. You're even prettier than your photos." Maya's hands started shaking. "I don't understand." "Daniel, say something. What's going on?" Daniel finally looked up, and Maya's world shattered. His eyes were empty, cold, guilty but resolved. "I'm sorry, Maya," he said quietly, "but I needed the money. You don't understand the kind of debt I'm in. The people I owe, they don't negotiate. They kill." Maya staggered backward, her mind refusing to process his words. "What are you saying?" The woman in black stepped closer, circling Maya like a shark. "Your fiancé sold you to me. £200,000. You're going to Korea. There's a very lucrative entertainment industry there that needs beautiful, educated, English-speaking women like you." The room spun. Entertainment industry. The words were sugarcoating for something far darker. "You're insane?" Maya whispered, pulling out her phone with trembling fingers. "I'm calling the police." "Daniel, tell them this is a mistake." "Tell them." "There's no mistake," Daniel interrupted, and his voice was hollow. "Maya, I've been planning this for 6 months. Your passport's already processed. The documents are signed. By tomorrow morning, you'll be on a plane to Seoul." Maya's legs gave out. She fell to her knees, the phone clattering from her hand. "You're a monster. I loved you. I worked overtime to help pay your debts. I gave you everything. And now you'll give me my freedom," Daniel said coldly. The woman snapped her fingers. The 3 men moved fast. Hands grabbed Maya's arms, yanking her to her feet. She screamed, thrashing, kicking, fighting with everything she had. "Let me go. Daniel. Daniel, please. Don't do this." But Daniel just stood there, watching her struggle, his face carved from stone. Maya's hand shot out, grabbing her phone from the floor. "I'm calling my family. I'm calling." Something hard connected with the back of her skull. Pain exploded through her head, white-hot and blinding. Her vision went fuzzy. The last thing she saw before darkness swallowed her was Daniel turning away, walking toward the bedroom, disappearing from her life like she'd never mattered at all. When Maya woke up, everything had changed. She wasn't in London anymore. She wasn't Maya Richards, senior marketing director, engaged woman with a future. She was cargo, property, a transaction completed. The room around her was dimly lit, smelling of smoke and expensive perfume. Music pulsed through the floor beneath her. She was lying on a velvet couch, her head throbbing, her wrists bruised. "Ah, you're awake." Maya turned her head slowly. The woman in black sat across from her, legs crossed, sipping red wine like they were old friends catching up. "Welcome to Seoul, darling. Welcome to Club Mirage. This is your new workplace." Maya sat up slowly, every muscle in her body screaming. "You kidnapped me. That's a crime. When the British Embassy finds out." "The British Embassy won't find out," the woman said smoothly. "Because as far as anyone knows, you quit your job, broke up with your fiancé, and moved abroad for a fresh start." Daniel was very thorough with the paperwork. Rage burned through Maya's chest. "I will never work for you. I don't care what you do to me." The woman's smile turned sharp. "Oh, sweetheart, you will. Because tonight you're going to serve a very important client. And if you refuse, well," she gestured vaguely, "there are basements in this building that girls don't come back from." Two women in short dresses appeared, grabbing Maya by her arms. She fought, but she was weak, disoriented, still dizzy from the blow to her head. "I'm a corporate professional," Maya spat. "I negotiate million-pound deals. I don't serve anyone." "Then negotiate your survival," the woman said coldly. The women dragged Maya toward a thick red curtain. Behind it, she could hear music pounding, people laughing, glasses clinking. "You're going to the VIP section," one of the women whispered in broken English. "Important man, very powerful. Make him happy." "I'd rather die," Maya hissed. They shoved her through the curtain. Maya stumbled into a wall of noise. Lights flashed, bodies pressed close, the air thick with alcohol and sweat. The club was massive, all chrome and neon, beautiful people everywhere. She was being pushed forward by security guards, forced through the crowd. Hands reached for her. Someone grabbed her waist. Maya jerked away, shoving back. "Don't touch me," she shouted. But her voice was swallowed by the music. The crowd was suffocating. Drunk men surrounded her, leering, reaching. Maya's heart raced. She had to get out, had to escape, had to. Someone shoved her hard from behind. Her heels caught. She lost her balance, arms flailing, falling forward into the roped-off VIP section. She crashed into someone solid, someone who smelled like expensive cologne and danger. Her lips collided with warm, soft lips. Time stopped. The music disappeared. The lights faded. The crowd vanished. There was only the shock of a kiss, accidental and electric, her breath mixing with a stranger's, her hands pressed against a broad chest. Maya's eyes flew open. His eyes were already open, dark, intense, unforgiving, staring straight into her soul. She pulled back fast, gasping. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean." But the man just stared at her. Silent, calculating, dangerous. He was beautiful in a terrifying way. Sharp jawline, dark hair swept back, a small scar cutting through his left eyebrow, dressed in an all-black suit that probably cost more than her old monthly salary. Everything about him screamed power and control. Kang Ji-hoon. Though Maya didn't know it yet, she just kissed Korea's youngest and most ruthless mafia boss. Heir to the Kang Empire. Untouchable, deadly, and very, very dangerous. Security rushed forward to grab her, but Ji-hoon raised one hand. They froze instantly. His eyes never left Maya's face. "Who are you?" he asked in perfect English, voice low and commanding. Maya's heart hammered. I'm nobody. I'm sorry. I was pushed. I didn't mean to." "To kiss me," Ji-hoon interrupted, tilting his head slightly. Interesting defense. Heat flooded Maya's cheeks. "It was an accident. Accidents have consequences," he said quietly. Before Maya could respond, an older man approached Ji-hoon, speaking rapidly in Korean. Maya couldn't understand the words, but she understood the tone. Urgency, pressure, expectation. The man gestured toward a balcony where an elegant older gentleman sat watching the club. Ji-hoon's father, head of the Kang family, and he was staring directly at his son with clear expectation. Maya's marketing brain kicked in despite her fear. She'd sat in enough boardrooms to recognize power dynamics. This man, Ji-hoon, was under pressure. His father was watching, judging, waiting for something, and suddenly she understood. He needed someone, a woman, partner, a shield. "You're in trouble," Maya said quietly. Ji-hoon's eyes snapped back to her, surprised. "Excuse me? Your father's watching you. You're expected to present someone, aren't you? A girlfriend, a future wife. But you don't have one." Ji-hoon's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. Respect, maybe, or curiosity. "You read situations quickly," he observed. "I'm a marketing director." "Was a marketing director," Maya corrected bitterly. "Reading rooms is what I do." Ji-hoon studied her for a long moment. The club pulsed around them, but they existed in a bubble of tension and possibility. "What's your name?" he asked. "Maya Richards." "You're British." "I was kidnapped and trafficked here against my will," Maya said bluntly. "So yes, I'm British, and I'm not supposed to be in this club." Ji-hoon's eyebrow rose. Bold. He wasn't used to women who spoke so directly, especially not in her position. An announcement came over the club speakers in Korean. Ji-hoon's jaw tightened. His father's patience was running out. "I have a proposition," Ji-hoon said suddenly, voice low so only she could hear. "Be my public fiancé. 3 months. Strict contract. Professional arrangement. In return, I'll get you out of this club, give you protection, and when the time is up, I'll help you return to London." Maya's breath caught. "You can't be serious." "I'm always serious," Ji-hoon replied. "My father is pressuring me to settle down, to prove I can lead the family with stability. He's threatening to pass the empire to my cousin if I don't present a suitable partner within 3 months. I need someone intelligent, presentable, and most importantly, temporary." "Why me?" Maya demanded. "Because you accidentally kissed me in front of half of Seoul's elite," Ji-hoon said dryly. "And because you're clearly not from this world, which means you won't have ulterior motives about my family's business." Maya's mind raced. Stay here and become what that woman in black wanted, or take a chance with a dangerous stranger who at least offered a way out. "What's the catch?" she asked suspiciously. "The catch is you belong to me publicly for 3 months. You attend events, smile, play the part. You live in my house under my rules. You don't run. You don't betray me. And you absolutely don't fall in love with me. Trust me," Maya said coldly. "After what the last man I loved did to me, love is the last thing on my mind." Ji-hoon pulled a contract from his jacket pocket. Black paper. Gold lettering. He handed her a pen. "Sign it." Maya stared at the document. This was insane. Completely insane. But what choice did she have? She grabbed the pen and signed her name in sharp, angry strokes. Ji-hoon took the contract, folded it, and slipped it back into his jacket. Then he stood, towering over her, and extended his hand. "Welcome to your new life, Miss Richards." Maya took his hand. His grip was firm, cold, and absolutely in control. He led her past security, past the woman in black who watched with furious eyes, past the crowds and chaos, out into the cool Seoul night. As they walked to his car, a sleek black Mercedes with tinted windows, Ji-hoon spoke without looking at her. "Rule number 1, don't try to run. I own you now. Rule number 2, always play the part in public. Rule number 3, stay out of my personal business." Maya slid into the car, exhaustion and anger warring inside her. "And what's rule number 4? Ji-hoon's eyes met hers in the rearview mirror, dark and unreadable. "Don't make me regret saving you." The drive to Ji-hoon's home felt like entering another universe. The car climbed higher into the hills overlooking Seoul, leaving behind the neon lights and chaos of the city. Maya pressed her forehead against the cool window, watching the world she'd been dragged into fade below. When the gates opened, her breath caught. This wasn't a house. It was a fortress disguised as paradise. Stone walls stretched endlessly. A circular driveway wrapped around a fountain with water dancing under soft lights. The mansion itself looked like something from a movie. All modern glass and traditional Korean architecture blended into something powerful and beautiful. Security guards bowed deeply as Ji-hoon's car passed. Maya counted at least 10 men in suits, all watching, all ready. "You live here alone?" Maya asked quietly. "No," Ji-hoon replied, getting out of the car. "My younger sister lives here, and sometimes my father visits. And now you." Maya stepped out, her heels clicking on the stone. Everything felt surreal. 24 hours ago, she was in London planning her wedding. Now she was in Seoul, standing in front of a Mafia mansion, engaged to a stranger. The front doors opened before they reached them. A woman in her 50s, elegant and stern, stood waiting. She bowed to Ji-hoon and eyed Maya with clear suspicion. "This is Mrs. Choi," Ji-hoon said. "She manages the house." "Mrs. Choi, this is Maya Richards, my fiancée. Treat her accordingly." Mrs. Choi's eyes widened slightly, then she bowed again, this time to Maya. "Welcome, Miss Richards." Maya followed Ji-hoon inside, and her jaw nearly dropped. The entrance hall was massive. High ceilings, marble floors, modern art on the walls, a grand staircase spiraling upward. Wealth dripped from every corner. "Your room is on the second floor," Ji-hoon said, already walking toward the stairs. "East wing. You'll have your own space. Bathroom, closet, balcony. Mrs. Choi will show you everything tomorrow." "Wait," Maya called, hurrying after him. "That's it? You're just going to leave me here?" Ji-hoon stopped, turning slowly. In the soft lighting of his home, he looked different. Still dangerous, but more human somehow. "What do you want from me, Miss Richards?" he asked tiredly. "I want to understand what I've gotten myself into," Maya said firmly. "You said 3 months. What exactly am I supposed to do during those 3 months?" Ji-hoon studied her for a moment, then gestured toward a sitting room. 5 minutes. They sat on opposite couches, the space between them feeling like a canyon. "My father is stepping down in 3 months," Ji-hoon began, voice low. "He's been head of the Kang family for 30 years. Our family controls shipping, construction, imports, exports, and several entertainment businesses across Korea. Legal businesses," he added, catching her look. Mostly, Maya repeated dryly. "We're not criminals," Ji-hoon said flatly. "But we're not saints either. We operate in gray areas. We have connections, power, influence. And with that comes enemies. And where do I fit in? My father believes a man who can't maintain a stable relationship can't lead a stable empire. He's been pushing me to marry for years. I've refused. I don't have time for relationships, and I don't trust easily. So I'm a prop," Maya said bitterly. "You're a solution," Ji-hoon corrected. "For both of us. I need someone intelligent enough to handle public events, business dinners, family gatherings. Someone who won't fall apart under pressure. In return, you get safety, shelter, and a ticket back to London when this is over." Maya leaned back, processing. "What about your personal life? What if you meet someone during these 3 months?" "I won't," Ji-hoon said simply. "How can you be so sure?" His eyes met hers, cold and certain. "Because I don't feel things the way other people do. I don't fall in love. I don't get attached. I'm very good at keeping business and emotion separate." Something about the way he said it made Maya sad. She just had her heart destroyed by someone she loved. And here was a man who'd built walls so high nothing could get through. "What if I meet someone?" Maya challenged. "You won't," Ji-hoon said. "You'll be too busy playing your part. And besides, you just told me love is the last thing on your mind." He was right. Daniel had destroyed her ability to trust. But something about Ji-hoon's coldness felt like a challenge, like armor she wanted to crack. "Fine," Maya said. "What happens tomorrow?" "Tomorrow we go shopping. You need clothes appropriate for your new role. Tomorrow night we attend a charity gala. You'll meet my father officially and several business associates. You'll smile, be charming, and convince everyone you're madly in love with me." Maya laughed humorlessly. "That's going to be difficult considering I barely know you." "Then learn fast," Ji-hoon said, standing. Mrs. Choi will wake you at 8. Breakfast at 9. We leave at 11. He walked toward the staircase, then paused. Miss Richards. Yes. Don't disappoint me. It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. Maya sat alone in the massive sitting room for a long time after he left. She thought about Daniel, about the betrayal, about how quickly her life had fallen apart. And she thought about the cold, dangerous man upstairs who'd given her a lifeline, even if it came with chains attached. Finally, exhausted beyond belief, she made her way to the east wing. Her room was beautiful. Huge bed, silk sheets, a balcony overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline. There was even a closet full of clothes in her size, though she had no idea how they'd managed that. Maya collapsed onto the bed, still wearing the dress from the club. Tears finally came, hot and angry. She cried for the life she'd lost, for the trust that had been shattered, for the woman she used to be. But somewhere beneath the pain, a spark of determination flickered. She was Maya Richards. She'd built her career from nothing. She'd survived tonight, and she'd survive this. Daniel thought he'd destroyed her. Ji-hoon thought he could control her. They were both wrong. She'd play this game. She'd smile and charm and pretend, but on her terms. And in 3 months, she'd walk away from all of this stronger than before. At least, that's what she told herself as sleep finally claimed her. Maya woke to soft knocking. Sunlight streamed through the balcony doors, and for a moment, she forgot where she was. Then reality crashed back. Seoul. Mansion. Fake engagement. Mafia boss. Mrs. Choi entered with a tray of tea and fruit. Good morning, Miss Richards. Mr. Kang requests you join him for breakfast in 30 minutes. Maya showered quickly, grateful for the expensive toiletries and fluffy towels. The closet was indeed full of clothes, all in her size, all elegant and expensive. She chose a simple cream blouse and tailored pants, refusing to dress like someone's doll. When she found the dining room, Ji-hoon was already there, reading something on his tablet, a cup of black coffee beside him. You're late, he said without looking up. By 3 minutes, Maya replied, sitting down. I didn't exactly pack for this trip. Ji-hoon's eyes flicked to her outfit. The clothes fit perfectly. How did you? I have people, he interrupted. Eat. We have a long day. Breakfast was traditional Korean food again. Maya stared at the spread, then at Ji-hoon. Do you have anything English? Toast? Eggs? Anything? For the first time, she saw the corner of his mouth twitch. Almost a smile. Almost. You're in Korea now, Miss Richards. Adapt. I'm going to starve, Maya muttered, picking up her chopsticks clumsily. Ji-hoon watched her struggle for exactly 10 seconds before sighing. He stood, walked around the table, and positioned himself behind her chair. Hold them like this, he said, adjusting her fingers. His hands were warm, surprisingly gentle. No, not like that. You're not holding a pencil. Maya's heart did something strange as he guided her hands. He smelled like cedar and something spicy. His voice was softer when he wasn't being cold. There, he said, stepping back. Now try. She managed to pick up a piece of kimchi without dropping it and grinned. I did it. Congratulations, Ji-hoon said dryly, returning to his seat. You've mastered a skill most Koreans learn at age 3. But Maya caught it, the tiniest hint of amusement in his eyes. Shopping was an experience. Ji-hoon took her to a luxury boutique where the staff knew him by name. They treated Maya like royalty, bringing dress after dress, outfit after outfit. You need formal wear for tonight, Ji-hoon said, sitting on a leather couch while she modeled options. Something elegant but not too flashy. You're my fiancé, not a trophy. Maya tried on a black dress first. Too severe. Then a red one. Too bold. Finally, she emerged in a midnight blue silk gown that hugged her curves perfectly, elegant and sophisticated. Ji-hoon looked up from his phone. His eyes traveled slowly from her heels to her face, and for one heartbeat, something flickered in his expression. Then it was gone. That one, he said simply. You're sure? Maya asked, turning to see herself in the mirror. She looked beautiful, powerful, like she belonged in his world. I'm sure, Ji-hoon replied, already texting someone. The gala that night was everything Maya expected and nothing she was prepared for. The venue was a 5-star hotel ballroom, dripping with chandeliers and flowers. Korea's elite moved through the space like schools of elegant fish, all designer clothes and practiced smiles. Maya's hand trembled slightly as Ji-hoon offered his arm. Breathe, he murmured. You've run boardroom presentations. This is the same. Except I actually knew what I was doing there, Maya whispered back. So fake it, Ji-hoon said. Smile. Nod. Let me do most of the talking. And for God's sake, don't mention you were trafficked here last week. Despite everything, Maya laughed. Dark humor. She could work with that. They entered together and heads turned immediately. Whispers followed them like ripples in water. Ji-hoon's hand moved to the small of her back, possessive and protective. An older man approached, distinguished and sharp-eyed. Ji-hoon's father. Father, Ji-hoon said, bowing slightly. This is Maya Richards, my fiancé. Kang Ji-hoon studied Maya with eyes that missed nothing. She felt like he was reading her entire life story in one glance. Miss Richards, he said in perfect English. Welcome. My son tells me you met recently? Yes, sir, Maya replied, keeping her voice steady. It was unexpected. But sometimes the best things in life are. Dae-young's eyebrow rose, impressed. Indeed. Tell me, what do you do? I was a marketing director in London, Maya said. But I'm taking time to explore new opportunities here in Seoul. It wasn't a lie, just a creative interpretation of reality. Intelligent and well-spoken, Dae-young observed, looking at his son. You've chosen well, Ji-hoon. Ji-hoon's hand tightened slightly on Maya's back. Thank you, father. As Dae-young moved away, Maya exhaled. That was terrifying. You did perfectly, Ji-hoon said quietly. He's impressed. That's not easy. The rest of the evening passed in a blur of introductions. Business partners, politicians, socialites, all studying Maya, all wondering where she'd come from. She smiled until her cheeks hurt, nodded at conversations she barely understood, and played the part of devoted fiancé. At one point, Ji-hoon pulled her onto the dance floor. The music was slow, romantic. His hand found her waist. Her hand rested on his shoulder. You're doing well, he said as they swayed together. I'm exhausted, Maya admitted. How do you do this all the time? Practice, Ji-hoon replied, and a complete lack of caring what people think. Maya looked up at him. In the soft lighting, his features seemed less harsh. Do you care what anyone thinks? Ji-hoon's eyes met hers. No, not usually. Not even your father? Something shifted in his expression. Especially not my father. But Maya heard the lie. He cared deeply what his father thought. He just hid it better than anyone she'd ever met. The song ended. Ji-hoon stepped back, the moment breaking like glass. We're leaving, he announced. You've met enough people for one night. In the car ride home, Maya rested her head against the window, watching Seoul's lights blur past. Ji-hoon. Thank you for getting me out of that club. Whatever your reasons, I'm grateful. Ji-hoon didn't respond for a long moment. Then, quietly, you're welcome. It was the first genuinely soft thing he'd said to her. And Maya felt something dangerous bloom in her chest. Something that felt suspiciously like the beginning of trust. She pushed it down. She couldn't afford to trust. Not again. Not ever. But as she glanced at his profile in the darkness, she wondered if maybe, just maybe, not all men were like Daniel. Some were just broken in different ways. 3 weeks passed like a dream, or maybe a beautiful nightmare. Maya couldn't tell anymore. She'd settled into life at the mansion. Mrs. Choi warmed up to her after Maya helped reorganize the kitchen storage. Ji-hoon's younger sister, Ji-woo, a university student studying art, became an unexpected friend, and Ji-hoon himself remained an enigma, cold and controlled in public, occasionally almost human in private. They attended events together, business dinners, gallery openings, charity auctions. Each time, Maya played her part perfectly. Smiled, charmed, convinced everyone they were in love. The problem was, somewhere along the way, Maya stopped acting. Started small. The way Ji-hoon always made sure she ate breakfast, adjusting her chopsticks without comment. How he'd place his jacket over her shoulders when she was cold. His hands lingering just a moment too long. The way he listened when she talked about London, about her old job, about everything she'd lost. He never offered sympathy, but he listened. And for Maya, that meant more than empty words. One afternoon, Ji-woo dragged Maya shopping. "You need to see the real Seoul," she insisted. "Not just fancy galas and boring business people." They wandered through street markets, Ji-woo chattering in a mix of Korean and English, teaching Maya phrases, laughing at her pronunciation. For the first time since arriving, Maya felt almost normal. "My brother likes you," Ji-woo said suddenly, trying on sunglasses. "I can tell." Maya's heart skipped. "We're just in a business arrangement." "Is that what you call the way he looks at you?" Ji-woo grinned. "Like you're the only person in the room? Please. I've never seen him like this." "Your brother doesn't have feelings," Maya said carefully. "He told me so himself." "My brother is a liar," Ji-woo replied cheerfully. "He feels things deeply. He just hides it because our world doesn't reward vulnerability. But you're different. You make him human again." Maya wanted to believe it. But she'd believed in Daniel too, and look where that got her. That evening, Ji-hoon came home late from a business meeting. Maya was in the kitchen, attempting to make tea, when he walked in looking exhausted. "You're still awake," he observed. "Couldn't sleep," Maya admitted. "Want tea?" "I'm terrible at it, but it's hot at least." The corner of his mouth twitched. He sat at the kitchen island, loosening his tie. Maya poured 2 cups, sitting across from him. "How was your meeting?" she asked. "Complicated," Ji-hoon replied. "Business politics, rival families, the usual." "Sounds exhausting." "It is." They sat in comfortable silence, drinking bad tea. Then Ji-hoon spoke, his voice quieter than usual. "You miss London." It wasn't a question. "Every day," Maya admitted. "I miss my job, my flat, my routine, everything I built." "Do you miss him?" Ji-hoon asked. "The man who betrayed you?" Maya considered lying, then decided against it. "No, I miss who I thought he was. But that person never existed." Ji-hoon nodded slowly. "Trust is dangerous. Is that why you don't let anyone close?" Maya challenged gently. His eyes met hers, dark and guarded. "People disappoint. They leave. They betray. It's easier to stay alone." "That sounds lonely." "Lonely is safe," Ji-hoon replied. Maya reached across the table, her hand covering his. He went still, staring at their joined hands like he'd never seen anything like it. "Safe is overrated," Maya whispered. For one breathless moment, they just looked at each other. The kitchen clock ticked. The house settled around them, and something shifted, something neither of them could take back. Ji-hoon pulled his hand away, standing abruptly. "You should sleep. We have a meeting with my father tomorrow." But as he walked away, Maya saw it, the slight hesitation, the way his shoulders tensed, the careful control slipping just for a second. He felt it too. Whatever this was growing between them, he felt it and it terrified him. The meeting with Dae-young was serious. He wanted to discuss their wedding plans, the official ceremony that would seal Ji-hoon's position as heir. 3 months from the engagement, Dae-young said, looking between them. "That gives us time to plan properly. The entire country will be watching." Maya's stomach dropped. Wedding. She'd agreed to 3 months of pretending, not an actual marriage. "Father, that's moving fast," Ji-hoon said carefully. "You've had years to move slowly," Dae-young replied firmly. 3 months. Make it happen." After he left, Maya turned to Ji-hoon. "This wasn't part of the deal." "I know," Ji-hoon said, jaw tight. "I'll handle it." "How?" Maya demanded. "Your father just announced our wedding to half of Korea's business elite. How exactly are you going to handle that?" Ji-hoon ran a hand through his hair. the first time she'd seen him truly frustrated. I don't know yet, but I gave you my word. 3 months. I'll find a way. And if you can't? Maya's voice rose. What then? Do I actually marry you? Become permanently trapped in this life? You won't be trapped, Ji-hoon said firmly, stepping closer. I promised to get you home. I keep my promises. Daniel promised me forever. Maya shot back. Look how that turned out. The words hung between them, sharp and painful. Ji-hoon's expression softened slightly. I'm not him. Prove it, Maya challenged. They stood there, tension crackling in the air. Then Ji-hoon's phone rang, shattering the moment. He answered in rapid Korean, his expression darkening with each word. When he hung up, his jaw was set. There's a problem at one of our warehouses. I have to go handle it personally. Now? It's almost midnight. Yes, now, Ji-hoon said, already grabbing his jacket. Don't wait up. He was gone before Maya could respond. She paced the sitting room for hours, unable to sleep, mind racing with everything happening too fast. The fake engagement that felt increasingly real. The wedding that was supposed to be impossible. The dangerous feelings growing in her chest for a man who claimed he couldn't feel anything. At 3 a.m., she heard the front door open. Heavy footsteps, then a crash. Maya ran to the entrance hall. Ji-hoon was leaning against the wall, his white shirt torn and stained with blood. His lip was split, and there was a cut above his eyebrow. Oh my God! Maya gasped, rushing to him. What happened? Business dispute, Ji-hoon said through gritted teeth. I'm fine. You're bleeding everywhere. You're not fine. She wrapped his arm around her shoulders, supporting his weight. Come on. Medical room. Now. I don't need. Shut up and let me help you, Maya ordered. Ji-hoon actually listened. The medical room was well stocked. Of course it was. This was a world where injuries were probably common. Maya helped him onto the examination table, then started gathering supplies. Take off your shirt, she instructed. Ji-hoon raised an eyebrow despite his pain. Miss Richards, are you taking advantage of my weakened state? Don't flatter yourself, Maya replied, but her cheeks heated. I need to see if you're hurt anywhere else. He unbuttoned his shirt slowly, wincing. When he shrugged it off, Maya's breath caught. His torso was muscled and scarred, evidence of a dangerous life lived in shadows. But it was the fresh bruises blooming across his ribs that worried her. Who did this? She asked quietly, cleaning the cut on his eyebrow with gentle hands. Rival family, Ji-hoon said, watching her face. They thought attacking my warehouse would send a message. What message? That they don't respect my leadership. That they think I'm weak because I'm young. Maya's hands paused. What did you do? Ji-hoon's eyes met hers, dark and dangerous. I sent a message back. They won't disrespect me again. A shiver ran down Maya's spine. This was who he really was. Not the controlled businessman in suits. Not the cold strategist at galas. This was Kang Ji-hoon, Mafia heir, dangerous and deadly. She should be terrified. Instead, she felt something else entirely. You could have been killed, she whispered. But I wasn't. This is insane. Your world. This life. It's violent and dangerous and you want to leave it, Ji-hoon finished. I know. That's the plan. Remember? Maya pressed antiseptic to his split lip. He hissed but didn't pull away. They were so close now, her standing between his knees, his dark eyes locked on her face. Ji-hoon, she started, but didn't know how to finish. His hand came up, fingers brushing her cheek so gently it made her heart ache. You should go to bed, Maya. Forget what you saw tonight. I can't forget, she admitted. I can't stop thinking about you, about this, about us. There is no us, Ji-hoon said, but his thumb traced her jaw. This is fake, remember? A business arrangement. Then why are you looking at me like that? Maya challenged. Like what? Like you want to kiss me? Ji-hoon's breath hitched. Maya, like you can't stop thinking about me either, she continued, emboldened by the vulnerability in his eyes. Like maybe this stopped being fake a while ago. If this becomes real, someone gets hurt, Ji-hoon said roughly. In my world, people I care about become targets. Weaknesses. Leverage. I'm already a target, Maya pointed out. I became one the moment I stood beside you at that first gala. That's different. How? Ji-hoon had no answer. Instead, he pulled her closer, his forehead resting against hers. This is a terrible idea. I know, Maya whispered. You should run from me. I know that too. But you're not running. No, Maya admitted. I'm not. The kiss happened like gravity, inevitable and consuming. His lips found hers, and Maya melted into him, hands threading through his hair, careful of his injuries. He kissed her like a man dying of thirst, desperate and hungry. All his careful control shattered. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Ji-hoon pressed his forehead to hers again. I don't know how to do this, he confessed. I don't know how to care about someone without destroying them. Then we'll figure it out together, Maya said softly. No more pretending. No more fake engagement. Just us, whatever this is. And London? Ji-hoon asked. Your old life. Maya thought about her apartment, her job, the life she'd built. She thought about Daniel's betrayal, how small that world seemed now. And she thought about the dangerous, complicated, infuriating man in front of her who'd given her safety when she had nothing. Maybe London isn't home anymore, she whispered. Ji-hoon's eyes darkened with something that looked like hope. Maya! A phone buzzed. He checked it, and his expression shifted. My father wants to see us. Tomorrow morning. He's heard about the warehouse incident. What will you tell him? The truth, Ji-hoon said, sliding off the examination table with a wince. That I handled it. That I'm strong enough to lead. And about us? Maya asked. Ji-hoon turned, studying her in the dim light. What about us? Are we still pretending? He crossed back to her in 3 strides, cupping her face in his hands. No more pretending, he said firmly. If we're doing this, we're doing it real. But Maya, you need to understand what that means. My world is dangerous. There will be threats, violence, risks. If you stay with me, you stay knowing that. I've already survived trafficking and betrayal, Maya said, covering his hands with hers. I'm stronger than you think. I know you are, Ji-hoon murmured. That's what terrifies me. He kissed her again, softer this time, like a promise. The next morning, they faced Dae-young together, hand in hand. No more pretending. Father, Ji-hoon began. About the wedding. I know what you're going to say, Dae-young interrupted, his sharp eyes moving between them. That 3 months isn't enough time. That you need to know each other better. Actually, Maya started. But I can see it, Dae-young continued, a small smile playing at his lips. The way you look at each other. This isn't the arrangement I thought it was when you first introduced her. Ji-hoon stiffened. What do you mean? I mean, Dae-young said, standing and walking to the window. That somewhere along the way, my cold, calculating son fell in love, and he turned to Maya, learned to see past his armor. Maya's heart hammered. Sir, I don't deny it, Dae-young said gently. I've been watching you both for weeks. The way Ji-hoon softens when you enter a room. The way you challenge him when no one else dares. The way you both pretend it's still fake when everyone can see it's real. Ji-hoon's hand tightened on Maya's. Father, if you're trying to say. I'm saying the wedding can wait, Dae-young interrupted. Take your time. Build something real. Because a leader with a strong partner is more powerful than a leader alone. And Maya, he looked at her directly. You make my son human again. That's worth more than any business arrangement. After he left, Maya turned to Ji-hoon. Did that just happen? I think my father just gave us his blessing, Ji-hoon said, sounding stunned. To actually be together. Are you okay with that? Maya asked carefully. Actually being with me? Not for show. Not for business. Just because you want to? Ji-hoon pulled her close, tilting her chin up to meet his eyes. I've wanted you since the moment you challenged me in that club. I've wanted you through every fake smile and scripted conversation. And I want you now, Maya Richards. Completely, terrifyingly, real. Maya's eyes filled with tears. Happy ones this time. I want you too. Even though you're bossy and cold and impossible. Especially because I'm bossy and cold and impossible. Ji-hoon corrected with a rare, genuine smile. Especially because... Maya agreed, laughing. They kissed again, and this time it felt like coming home. Outside, Seoul glittered in the morning sun. Somewhere in London, Daniel lived his life, thinking he'd destroyed Maya. He was wrong. Maya had been sold, claimed, and transformed. But not into something broken. Into something stronger. Something fierce. Something loved. And as Ji-hoon held her close, she realized that sometimes the worst betrayal leads to the greatest love. Sometimes being lost is how you find yourself. And sometimes the most dangerous man is exactly what you need to feel safe. So, Ji-hoon murmured against her hair. Still want to go back to London? Maya thought about it for exactly 2 seconds. Maybe just to visit. And to personally tell Daniel what a mistake he made. Ji-hoon laughed, the sound rich and warm. I'll come with you. I'd like to meet the man stupid enough to let you go. Possessive much? Maya teased. Completely, Ji-hoon admitted without shame. You're mine now, Maya Richards. And I don't share. Good, Maya said, kissing him again. Neither do I. And that's how Maya went from betrayed and broken to loved and powerful. If you enjoyed the story, smash that like button and subscribe to Soul Tales for more dramatic, romantic, mind-blowing stories. Drop a comment telling me what you thought about Ji-hoon and Maya's journey. Would you have stayed in Seoul or gone back to London? Let me know. And remember, sometimes the worst thing that happens to you leads to the best thing that ever could. Until next time, keep believing in second chances and dangerous love.